Hi, welcome to this tutorial for Ready or Not and Unreal Engine users to be able to turn lights on and off using collision and an input, which would be your F key for Ready or Not. And this tutorial will show you how to do it. This will be split up into two parts of the video: the just doing it and teaching, showing you how to do it, and the other version, which is part 2. Will be showing you how to understand it and what the code is and how it works. So first of all, you should have a template of a map or anything like that. You can usually get it off Nexus for Ready or Not users. This is mainly Ready or Not, but obviously it can be used for any Unreal Engine project. But this focuses on Ready or Not. You should have your content folder, blueprints, blueprint spawners, mods, and maybe Ready or Not. This usually you'll have at least blueprints and blueprint spawners and probably mods. But if you want to go in blueprint spawners and you want to right click, go blueprint class, actor, and you want to set this to lights, on, off. Actually, you can even call it BP for blueprint, lights on and off. Perfect. You want to open this, and to explain, this will basically, we're creating a collision here that the player, once it goes into, can then control all the other lights. Cool, awesome. So that's all done. A box collision is set up. You're then going to go event graph, and when this box, right click, add event, and on component begin overlap when it's overlapped, and right click again, add event, then on component end overlap. Perfect. We want to then create a variable, which will be in box. So drag that, drop it, set it, and copy and paste this twice. Okay. Are we in the box? Yes, we're in. Are we not in the box? No, we're not. that's the easiest terms. We then want to say if you are in the box, which you are, to enable the input. And if you're not in the box, disable the input. Perfect. Save. You then want to have a player controller, so get player controller. Make sure those are linked up to there. Cool. And you can select all this, press C for comment, and you can go on the overlap, enable the input, not overlapping, disable input. So obviously, yeah, just a couple of words to tell you what that bit of code does. Perfect. Next thing we want to do is we want to go input key. And we want to actually have a little look for the F key. You can put it as any other key, but for Ready or Not, please press the F key because that is mostly the key that arrests people, hands up, stuff like that. It's the action key. So you can take that off. You can go flip flop. And flip flop will make it go between on, off. That's it. And it will alternate between the two of them. So that's it for now for there. You then want to go back to your content. You then want to right click, go blueprint class, and you want to create a new actor. And this one needs to be called BP for blueprint underscore point light. Perfect. Open that up, add a component, which will be the point light. Perfect. Compile, save, and add an event graph. And in this event graph, we now want to have a custom event. Custom events can be triggered from any blueprint. It's basically like casting, but a lot easier. For me, anyway. Point light on, we'll call it. And we want to copy and paste. And you'll have that error warning, but that's because we've already got a custom event called. We will now want to call it point light off. Perfect. You'll then have a set visibility for the point light. Perfect. You can put that in the middle. Make it look a little bit nicer. Lovely. That will do, I suppose. And we want to do set visibility point light again. We can then delete that point light and make sure we only have one to make it look nice and neat and tidy. Compile and save. Point light on. Is it on? Yes. So set the visibility on. Is it off? Which it is. Set it off. Which it is. Perfect. We can then select it all and go light on/off. That's what it is. Turning the lights on and off. Visibility wise, so basically it's like turning the visibility to 100, or the opacity to 100, or the lights to full intensity, and then the intensity to 0. We can then also add something else called event begin play. So on when the game is played or started, for it to then do something. So what you can do is you can say, okay, I want to set this so that the light is off on the beginning of the play. So we can go point light off, and we'll set it off for purposes, to make it a little easier, and so you can see the lights off and then on. You can obviously turn this on if you want, or off, but basically as soon as the game's launched, that will be what it does, which is it's off. So we want to then go back to our collision, which is where we've got the lights. Are you in the box? Are you out the box? And one of the flip-flops, if it's off, you want to have it so it's the opposite on A. So it begins on off, you want to have it on. So it would be point light, and also you want to make sure this context sensitivity is off because it's not even linked yet. And you want to have point light, we said it was off to begin with, so you want it on. And B, you'd want it point light off, which is the opposite of that. Perfect. Compile, save. There is no target there, that's where we're going to have issues. So we want to create a new variable. Perfect. We want to create go to Boolean, and in the search bar here we want to type in point light. And you'll see here a BP underscore point light, which is the blueprint point light which we wanted. Object reference, perfect. And we can set this as a variable which is called point light. Perfect. Compile and save. These are still its errors because I'll show you in a second. If you want to have it as just you're using only one light, which would be like having a light switch in a room, which you can also do with this, like have a light switch up against the wall and have this as when the character goes in it and presses F, it's like turning on a light switch and only one light's in the room, then this is perfect. But for most people, if you're trying to do like what I'm doing, which is have tons of lights in a whole building and to be able to turn them on and off by a master power switch, then make sure it's an array. An array will allow it to be multiple lights. And I'll show you this in a second. You're going to make sure this variable is public, which has the ion, and to drag, get, and make sure those are put in the targets. My bad. Okay. Drag those a little bit there, make it look a little bit nicer, and compile and save. Perfect. That is it. So the light is on and the light is off. Visibility on, visibility off, and again is off. Cool. So let's get to inside the game. So you want the blueprint light on and off, and you want the point light itself. And what I'll do is quickly after this, I will show you spotlights, because also you can have spotlights as well. So we want to have this set up there, and for my sake, to show you guys, we're going to have the box here, unticked hidden in game. That's just for us, so we can see the box of where the collision is. So we're not running around trying to find where the box is going to be. And obviously we can move this. Now the thing is, you've got one light here, and in this thing here, you can click the plus, which this is like the master switch. It's like basically we're now connecting the wires from this to talk to this, so that when the light's on or off, or the electricity's in and out, the light will turn on or off. So we then want to click the plus button and add the point light, which is this. So if we wanted to duplicate this, which I'm about to now, you'll see blueprint point light 2. So it's created a second version. Lovely. So that means that because I've copied it from here, it's also connected. No, you'd have to actually manually go back over here, click a plus again, point light 2. And so you'd have to do this for each individual light. So I would say make sure you do not change these numbers at all. Just duplicate. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a lot easier. So you can see what's my first one. Okay, My last one is light 70, so you know you've got 70 lights. So you know here you've got to make 70 array elements. Then also you can test and make sure, okay, yeah, each of these are, you know, incremental. So you can see if you've missed one, and if one's not working. So that's that. So you've learned how to make a collision that the player has to go into, press the F key, and to flip-flop, turn on or off the light. And for it to talk to the actual light blueprint itself. Now the light, I'll show you quickly how to edit light. Click on the blueprint, click the point light, and you can change the intensity, the color, everything you would be able to do with a normal light here. The only thing is though, the only thing is why it's in a blueprint. I think you can control these separately, but I know blueprints can talk to other blueprints. Blueprints can control other blueprints. So that's why I've made a blueprint with a light in it. I think you can with these, but it gets messy. So it's exactly the same, but just in a blueprint form. So you can still select the lights, turn the intensity on and off, do all the stuff you want to do, and move it all around. Perfect. But it can just be turned on and off using this. Awesome. Next thing we want to do, let's create a spotlight real quick. So let's do exactly the same again. Actor, blueprint underscore spot light. So this is the second time, so you can understand of what we're doing a little bit more. So we need to have a spotlight. Perfect. We can have a spotlight there. And what I usually do is I usually turn it 90 degrees and then I show it up just enough so that it's shining down on that here, because that's going to be on the ground and that's going to be there. You can obviously change all this around, but for, you know, in the actual editor, it doesn't have to be on the floor, but that's how I try. So then obviously here again, you can have the custom event, which will be your spot. Light on, and you'll copy and paste this again, and you can make this spot light off. You can then say that you want to set the visibility. Set the visibility of spotlights. Perfect. And you want, if the lights are on, check that on. Perfect. Take this and go set visibility again. And that will create it for the spotlight again, but obviously we don't want two variables because it's messy. So set it like that. Perfect. Light on is, light off is going to the spotlight. Perfect. So then we can then go back into light on and off, and we can set that up. So let's, first of all, because this will make it easier for us, because these, you had to make sure that when you drag it off, that the context sensitive has to be off. To be able to find these. But if we put this back on, we create the variable. And this variable will be called spot light. Okay? And this variable type here will be reference of spotlight. Blueprint spotlight. Object reference, and make sure it's an array. It is. Perfect. Make sure that light's on so we can change it in the right hand side of our editor when we're in the level. And obviously we can drag this out. We can plug it there. We can go get, and then off here, we can actually drag it, and we can go, because now we're referencing that spotlight, which is where the spotlight on and off is. We can go spots. I think light. We might still have to take the sensitivity off. My bad. Spotlight on. Connect. And the spotlight off. Connect. And that goes to there. Perfect. So you'd think we're done now, which we technically are. So let's go and put the spotlight over here. See, obviously you can tell that is just there for a little bit more reference, and it's a little bit more away further from that. It still doesn't cause any shadows or anything like that. So you can then set it like that. Perfect. We can then, if I minimize this, we can set this, and we can set the intensity further up. We can do the radius of the outer cone. Perfect, like that. Perfect. Cool. So you'd think this is done now, and we'll make a first, and we'll make a second one. Blueprint Spotlight 1, Blueprint Spotlight 2. Awesome. So then over here, Spotlight. spotlight 1, spotlight 2. So there's actually 2 different points because they're 2 different variables that have been shown. So if I go here again, you can actually see 2 different variables that have been shown in the editor here because they've got the eye on, and you can select them all. And so you can see however many arrays you're supposed to have for the spotlights, which is very easy to be able to find. Spotlight 1, and then you'd have spotlight 70, so you'd have 70 arrays. That is that. So then let's test it. See if it works. All the lights are off, apart from these, which the lights aren't going off. Let me set this to. It's probably because it's stupid, like intensity levels. I do know it gets a little bit agitated if it's stupid levels. So let's go play, and let's go to our collision, and let's press F. The lights come on, and these lights are on. We might just have to play around. I know spotlights are a little bit finicky, shall I say. It might just be that that we didn't click a certain button or something. We got to like press escape and we got to save or something maybe, or maybe we got to build the lighting. That could be also a thing as well. Oh, I know why. Right. Try and just give you a second, yourself a second to guess. But the reason this is still on, we haven't told the level to turn them off on begin. So we need to go back to one of the pieces of code, which is somewhere. We can go, usually we've got one here, event begin play for the point light. We also need one for the spotlight actually. So we can go events, begin play, and we want the spotlights off. So it also means as well, if you wanted to, you can have spotlights on and point lights off on the beginning, which is cool. So it means when I click play now, they're off. That's the reason I was having problems, is because I forgot to add an event begin play. So now you can see the lights are on, and so obviously they were on to begin with because the lights didn't know, you know, that they were supposed to be off because they're always on. So obviously we can press F all we want outside this box, the lights are still off or on, and if I get in this box and press that, they're on and off. Perfect. If we go to ready or not, we can actually see it work in the game, which will be nice. So you can actually see that it does work in engine. The problem with this is, there's always a problem. This only works for client side, meaning if I play this multiplayer, I have to be the one controlling the lights. Well, in a way, if I control the lights, I turn the lights on, say, when they're already off. I am the only one that can see the lights go on. So for everyone else, for that's playing multiplayer with me, they'll still see the lights as off. So basically, it's not syncing to everyone else, and this is because these servers, from what I have been researching and what I've found out, and from what I've been, someone else that has helped me, that's Unreal Engine, like freaking magician, and has been doing networking for the last 10 years. He's really helped me, and I did understand the thing of servers, clients, and multicast, but it wasn't working, and I thought it was just me. It isn't. By the looks of it, the servers have been deactivated for us, so we can't actually activate the server. So otherwise, you'd have the client, which is me, press a button, it goes to the server, and the server then goes to all the other clients. But we can't have that because we can't connect to the server. Another way of doing it is for the client to press a button and to go through multicast, which means instead of the server, it just goes to everyone. So it's a bit of like a skip. So let's shoot those people. Lovely.
One person.
You saw nothing. So the lights are on. And this is because this is my file that I'm currently working on. This is a different file from what you've just seen, but basically works the same. I've got tons of different lights, and on the event begin play, these are on. So meaning you can walk up to this, the box would be here, you press the F button, and the lights are off, meaning I can go night vision. So the whole building's power is off and on. So that shows you how to do this. It also means as well, if you really wanted to, you can create another one of these, like not a copy, but yeah, you could copy and paste it, or you can create a new one. But you could have one for individual rooms in the building, like have a light switch model, and obviously have this thing next to the light switch of you can turn individual rooms on and off by having it as an array, but having it so that all the lights in the whole building as an array are controlled by this. But then in the one room, there's 3 lights, 56, 57, 58. And that with that new blueprint, that the array of those 3 lights, which is 56, 57, and 58, are controlled by it. So you can have 2 things controlling it. Yeah, it will get complicated, but you can have it set that those lights from those blueprints, from that blueprint, is set off. So you can have it so that these, when you click the power on, all these lights will come on, lovely. But in that one room, because that light switch is turned off, it's not turning the lights on. So then you can have it as separate things. And people go, well, why is there no lights in this corridor? Turn the light switch on and all the lights will come on, even though you've turned the power on downstairs. So you can have many different reasons, many different ways of making this stuff. But that's it for this first part. For the second part, I'll show you actually explain it a little bit more, which I think I already kind of did. I kind of explained it the best I can, but I'll just go over it again. Box, are you overlapping? Yes, I am overlapping. Create a variable, which we have done, and that it's overlapping. And this is just to make it a little bit easier. I don't even think this might be necessary, but it's just a precaution. I don't even think it's being used, to be honest. It's best to keep it there anyway, just in case. I know it works. I'm not going to touch it anymore. You know, you might be able to delete this and for it to still work, but yeah, you're on the begin overlap. Okay, you're in the overlap. Cool. Enable the input. End overlap. I'm out of the overlap. Disable the input to the controller. Perfect. Meaning if this input is enabled, that the F key, when pressed, flip-flops. You have to have it so that A, when you first time press it, A will spark off first, right? So if the lights are already off, you want it on. You want the opposite, because otherwise if you have it off again, you'll have to press the F button twice to be able to turn the lights on, because it will go, okay, the lights are already off, which you event begin play. They're off already. Okay, the flip-flop A, point light off, and it will do it, but it won't change for you because it's just said it needs to turn the lights off, but they were already off, and then it will go to B, point light on. So you'll have to press that button twice. So really, you can have it for point light, and you can have it for a spotlight. And so obviously you need the on and off, and you need it to go to an array, which is your target, which is from these different ones. And so obviously you create custom events, which we've explained about, set visibility to on, visibility to off, and make sure it is connected to that point light there. Event begin play is set to that. So even if you wanted to set it up as separate rooms of, like I was saying, you might want to put this event begin play in the main thing here, because otherwise if you have it in the separate lights, when, like I was saying, you want that power to, like, you turn the power on, but in the room, individual room, it's still turned off, that would have to be in here, like in the actual blueprint collision itself, because you turn all these on, and it would turn the array on. I mean, there's many different ways of doing it, but yeah, I'd probably put the event begin play if you were doing it as separate rooms in the point lights off and on. But at least with here, you can tell exactly where it is. Event begin play, point light, which is point light, off. Perfect. Event begin play, spotlight, off. You can obviously set this as on or off on the begin play, it's up to you. And that's basically it. As well as obviously double checking, you've got arrays, you click an array add element to add different lights, and when you obviously duplicate multiple lights, which you can do by pressing Alt and then moving the light across to make a duplicate, that creates a third one. So then we'd go back to here, because we've created a third point light, yes, here, create a new plus, third point light, and that is it. That is how you create lights in Unreal Engine, and mostly, or purposely, ready or not, and making lights, all the lights in a building, turn on or off from a master power switch using Unreal Engine blueprints. So spotlights and point lights. I hope this really helped. I hope we can fix this sync problem soon. This is basically just the very basics of me showing to you, the community, or to you as a developer, creating custom maps, that how to do it, as well as this can be done in a game that's early access, that's not officially got mods, and it's unofficial. But with these unofficial mod things, we can still even create blueprints and put code and things in the game that's not in the game files, which is incredible. So the amount of things you could do, which I've got some more things coming up, which I am going to do. I'm not going to spoil them yet. You'll see a video hopefully up in the next couple of weeks when I do finish it, as well as my map when it does come out. But this is the beginning of Ready or Not modding, and to show this this early into modding's only been out the last month or two, and that's only been very, very basic, like doing gun replacements or textures or whatever like that. There's only been the very, very small, the top modders, because they've created these templates that have been creating custom maps, and now it's come out to the public for us modders to all do it. And for this to be created, it shows a very huge potential, and I really can't wait for the future of Ready or Not, unofficial, and also the official modding for Ready or Not. So thank you very much. If you are stuck or need any help at all, or would like to get in contact with me about sync problems, or if you're a dev and you want to get in contact with me about how I could fix the sync problems for the servers and multicast and everything, I really, really appreciate it, because I think so many people would absolutely love this, to be able to just go into a building, turn off a light, turn on a light, and use those night vision goggles, have a purpose for them. Because there is a big purpose for them at the moment, is mainly port the map. That's it. You use night vision goggles very, very rarely in the game, and obviously to then have a whole building where you can just turn the lights on or off, so you can either play night vision if you want, or maybe not, depends on you. You can do it. Yeah, if you need my help or want to contact me, the Discord will be in the link below. My map will be coming out soon, hopefully, when I've also got my uni work to do as well. But yeah, I hope it's been very helpful and beneficial to you. And if you guys want to actually see more blueprints come out for Ready or Not, or you want me to make stuff, then yeah, go ahead and send me something through Discord or whatever. Just send me whatever you want me to create blueprint wise, as long as it's sensible or something that'd be really, really cool. Then yeah, I'd be more than happy to take a look, because this hasn't been too bad apart from the networking side of stuff. But client was very easy. That was set up within an hour or less. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you very, very much. See you soon.